Joining us now is Rick Goldman. Rick, it's a pleasure to have you on the show finally.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
We've been talking about this for a while, and you are involved in different endeavors. One that we are here to talk about in particular is the Hebrew Free Loan Association. Tell our audience a little bit about it.
Well, the Hebrew Free Loan Association is an international organization, and there are chapters in Canada, the United States, South America, Israel, even Australia. And here in South Florida, this chapter of the Hebrew Free Loan Association was started about 21 years ago by 3 people who got together with their temple, and they thought this would be a good thing to do to help other Jewish people who run into a financial problem. So Glenn Gottman, Andy Weinberg, and Seidel Howitt started the organization. Recently, I became the president of the Hebrew Free Loan Association of South Florida, and I enjoy the work and helping other people. I work as a volunteer. We only have 1 full-time employee, so most of the money people donate goes directly to those who need help.
Have things changed a lot due to the economy? Are there greater numbers of people inquiring and needing the support of your organization?
That's true. It has happened that we're finding people who never needed help before in their lives, some middle-aged people, and suddenly they find themselves without a job, and they're looking at how will they make the mortgage payment, how will they make the car payment. So we're seeing a lot of emergency assistance loans, and we're able to help the people. We give loans that are interest-free, so they pay it back over 2 years. There's never any interest at all. No one's making a profit on this. We just do it to help people.
One of the big problems nowadays that we hear so much about is the fact that many people are losing their homes. They can't pay their mortgages. Is your organization able to assist in that area also?
That happens sometimes. We'll be able to help someone get through a rough time. So we like to say we're giving a helping hand rather than a handout. So if someone isn't able to make the mortgage payment, we can very quickly get them the money. The problem with going to other sources for money is that when you lose your job, you're not going to qualify for a loan. But that's exactly who comes to the Hebrew Free Loan. People who don't have a job, or maybe they don't have perfect credit. So we're able to lend them emergency money and get it to them quickly to keep the electric from getting turned off, or keep the car from getting taken away, or other emergency situations. We also have happy things that happen too. We lend money for people for different things. It could be money for a child's bar mitzvah or bat mitzvah, or maybe to put a child in a Jewish school. So we'll lend money for things like that too. But lately it is true, we do see a lot of emergency needs that are coming up.
Tell us more about your organization and some of the events that take place in order to bring it to the attention of the public at large. What things are you doing publicly?
Well, that's a good question. And what happens is, in the past year, we would put on different wine tasting events and things like that, where we'd invite people in. And it was a little bit of a networking event. We'd invite business owners in. And what happened was that people would come to the event and they'd say, what is this Hebrew loan thing? And we found that most Jewish people have never heard of the Hebrew Free Loan Association, which has been around in South Florida for a long time, and in some parts of the United States for more than 100 years. Yet we're almost like a secret organization, and we don't want to be. So we do want to get the word out. This year, we've got a big Hanukkah festival coming up. So that will be on Sunday, December 5th. It's going to be from 10 in the morning till 6 p.m. And we're inviting people from the Tri-County area, Palm Beach, Broward, and Miami-Dade, to come to the Hanukkah Festival. When they look at our website, hanukkahfestival.org, they're going to see a section called About HFLA, and there people will find out about the Hebrew Free Loan Association. So we're trying to not make it a secret organization and make it much more well-known among the Jewish people in South Florida.
Certainly interesting. Does the organization also help individuals outside the United States?
The other chapters of the Hebrew Free Loan, yes, they do. Ours just handles the South Florida area, mostly Broward and Dade County. But there are other chapters in South America, in Australia, Canada, even in Israel. So it's an international group, and we're running the South Florida chapter.
It certainly is a very interesting organization, and of course something anybody would like to know is, where does the money come from?
We have individual donors that will give money, and Some of the chapters around the United States have been established longer, more than 100 years, some of them. So they have more funds available. Some of our chapters have over $1 million, and our chapter is one of the much smaller ones. So we're trying to grow, get the word out, and get more donations. In one of the other cities, I recently learned that they're able to give loans up to $30,000, and the loans could be to convert your house to run on green power. So if you wanted to convert your house to run on solar power, they'll provide up to $30,000 for that. Here in South Florida, because of the amount of funds that we have available, our maximum loan is $2,000. So mostly it's emergency money. If someone has run into some financial difficulty, we're able to give them a helping hand. Now recently we've partnered with another organization, and we're able to give college loans too. So we're able to give up to $5,000 a year towards college education.
Are you suggesting that a student might actually be able to borrow multiple amounts of $5,000 with them through, say, 4 or 5 years of college?
Exactly. They would be able to get $5,000 each year. That would go towards their college education. So depending on the university they've applied to, it may cover everything or it may cover a part of it. But it's $5,000 a year, which they're able to pay back starting after graduation, and it's interest-free.
Rick, I understand there was a national, or actually an international conference on the Hebrew Free Loan Association in Texas a while ago. Tell us a little bit about the fundraising endeavors and how you're trying to publicize this organization a little further.
Sure. That was just a couple of weeks ago, actually. It was in Dallas, Texas, and I learned that the Dallas chapter of the Hebrew Free Loan Association just celebrated their 75th birthday. So we saw a video about Jewish history in Dallas, and we learned about Hebrew Free Loan starting when the first railroad track was laid in Dallas. So it was very interesting and great to see that Jewish people have always been there to help each other in another city. We also had a gentleman who came in from the Hebrew Free Loan Association of Melbourne, Australia, and several chapters from different parts of Canada were there. So we get a chance once a year, we all get together and we learn what each of the different chapters is doing, different fundraising ideas that they've come up with, and new chapters are coming on board all the time. For example, Milwaukee never had a Hebrew Free Loan until just about a year ago. And one woman who used to live in San Francisco heard about that chapter while she was listening to NPR radio. And she thought, this is a great idea. And then things came about in her life that caused her to move to Milwaukee. She started a Hebrew Free Loan in Milwaukee. So it's a brand new organization. And what I learned at the meeting is that she's already given out 22 loans to Jewish families in her city.
Rick, your organization is very impressive. Wonderful thing they're doing internationally and locally. I'd like to thank you very much for being with us today.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.